Let's do Ask Andy first. Like I mentioned before, I had to like break this off for streams. So I forgot what the last time Honibi asked me what my PRs for in the gym. So my PRs in the gym, nobody cares except Honibi. My squat was 440. My deadlift 540. And the bench was 280. Around 175 to 180. Sponsored by Costco. I wish, dude. They can make me so much. Oh, what's up, Ninja? You care. Ninja is like way older than me and putting up some pretty significant numbers. Trigger, thank you for the prime. I think I thanked you earlier, but you came through and you talked about fingering buttholes. Thanks. All right. Those are my PRs. Before Rona hit, I was able to catch up because I fluctuate a lot as an adult. I don't have time to dedicate to training consistently. It's even so much harder now that I don't have a physical gym to go to. I have a home gym, sure, but considering I live in this room, I wake up and I go in here. My free time is spent here, my work time is spent here, and my workout time is also in here. It messes you up. Thank you, Trigger. I was a powerlifter, so that's where my strength was. In terms of like cleans, I think I was able to power clean 225. I didn't try any higher. I think I tried 275 and it almost broke me. I think I was able to push press 170 using my legs, of course. It's not strict military press. I could do 8 muscle ups, but that's really a kipping thing. It's not really a strength thing. Yeah, pretty much it. Just a strength guy. All right. AJR asks, what are the entry level 75% kits under $150? ID80. If you specifically want a 75% keyboard, you're kind of screwed, bro. You're kind of screwed. Ace J75 from TX was under that price point, around $110, but that was a very limited run. 20 muscle ups, that's crazy. I'd just get tired. Yeah, so people are coming into the hobby, they're like, I want a board under $200, under $150, under $250. I mean, I don't think anyone ever says $250. They're like, I want something under $200, maybe $150 and below. I'm like, you're asking for a custom mechanical keyboard, and often they want aluminum. You're asking for an aluminum keyboard under $200. When we see like Razer, Logitech, and everything selling plastic keyboards that are like mechanical, pushing up toward $200. So how do you think that company that's mass manufacturing boards, and they have to be plastic under $200, how do you think a small batch run of aluminum boards are gonna be end up under $200? It's just tough. Yeah, like a used tofu you can get under that, but like, especially if you want something specifically 75%. Someone mentioned, they weren't supposed to answer in this channel, but someone mentioned the KVD 75. Yeah, but it's a tray mount. So if they start saying like, I want gasket mount, sorry. Yeah, like there's like shortcomings for all these boards under $200. But if you're able to give up the aluminum requirement of your board, and you can handle a plastic board like ABS, injection molded polycarbonate, then you can get something pretty nice for under $200. The D60 Lite that we looked at on YouTube yesterday, $120, right? I think. And porn gasket mount, it was really nice sounding. It looked cheap as hell, but you can't get a board that looks expensive, sounds expensive, and is not expensive. Bruh, like physical limitations here. Bakaneko is the cheapest aluminum you can get. But yes, Bakaneko is a great option at 130, but it's 60. Most people coming into the hobby, they don't want a 60. They're like, where are my arrows? Which is a valid concern. Glorious is different because they confront the manufacturing costs, just to name, yeah. They confront the manufacturing costs, and they give you a bunk product where the screws are broken. I still can't believe that people are commenting on that video saying like, oh, I still like it. I'm like, it came broken. It showed up broken. Yeah, FN keys, it's hard though, it's hard. So I tell people like, yo, if you have a regular 60 You could just map the bottom to be arrows, but still, that's one extra step that requires adoption that not everyone's willing to do. So yeah, it's really tough to find under $200. If you push it to $250, $300, then you get a better option. I remember when I got into the hobby, the KD67 Mark II was the best option at $220 or something like that. And I was like, okay, this is expensive, but at least it is heavy, it is aluminum, and it looks and sounds pretty good. But in terms of the cost of manufacturing an aluminum keyboard, it hasn't really dropped. And then AJR also asked, they wanted hot swap. I'm like, very tough. Hot swap, it just isn't commonly put into custom boards. It's just not. So you have your like plastic boards out of, and they have hot swap. So like the KBD fans boards, Icky, the Ramakaru was also hot swap, right? Yeah, it's the plastic cases typically have hot swap. Salvation ores, I love 60s, but I'm not getting a Salvation because I'm poor. I think it ran a little bit more expensive than I'm used to, and I already got the unicorn. And my whole point, or my whole goal in this hobby was, yo, get a board that you like, that's gonna make you not want to buy more boards. For me, that's a unicorn. That's why I like in stock. So now I can be happy with the 60, and I don't have to wait for another GB. But I do have a new coming. I feel like new is gonna land before my mid 2020 GBs that I entered in mid 2020 is gonna get here. It's a small quantity GB, but that's freaking whack. That's gonna get here first. Another still asked, how's my stomach? So during the subathon, had a lot of spicy food. It wrecked my stomach. I was in and out of the restroom for the next like 2 days. Just like, it hurt. I didn't eat all the boiling crab. If I ate the whole pound of boiling crab, I would have had to stop the stream. All right, Nelson asks, is it okay to link a YouTube video and have my thoughts? I've been getting this question a lot. I don't know what to do about this because I can't. I like physically can't just look at people's videos and give them like an analysis on it, because this is part of why Ask Andy was killing me, because the person asking, they spend 30 seconds coming up with a request. Me reviewing a video is going to take me a few minutes, 5-10 minutes, and if I just open the floodgates, now I'm spending all day working for somebody else. But if you want like my feedback on stuff, if you post it in a public forum, like in the server, I'll have Creator Corner. If you post it there, if I answer and review it, then I can provide value for more people. If you're too scared to have me publicly review it, then I don't know what to tell you. Alv asks, I think I overlubed the switch as it's quite sluggish, but I already soldered and do not want to desolder. Is there a way to fix it? Absolutely not. You have to desolder, you have to take it apart, and you have to clean off the lube. You can try to like break it in and like spam the key and maybe it'll feel better. But there's a very small window in which you can overlube it a little bit and it'll break in after use. Typically with a thicker lube like 25G0. But otherwise, that's a GG of, I'm sorry. I feel like you would have noticed that it was overlubed prior to soldering. SP Star Meteor over Compay 2. I like the clack of the SP Star Meteor over Compay 2. It'll eventually break in. I don't think so. I got overlubed marshmallows from the Chimera build. No, it never came back. It never came back. Reaper asks, what is Andy's favorite food? I like meat, bro. Japanese barbecue is probably one of my top foods. So Cheeto asked, what's my first mech keyboard? My first mechanical keyboard was the KD67 Mark II. And I did a lot of content on it. I did the guide video. I did a bunch of sound tests on it on my channel. It's a really nice board. It just sounded boring after a while. TKC they screw a lot of things up. Like fulfillment of their Tangis, they sent people the wrong quantity. They lost a bunch of shipments of GMK DMG extras. They don't coordinate with their designers, and they have like bunk mats. So the mats don't match the renders because they don't do the color matching. What else? What else happened recently? They had a whole drama about the banana split, aka macho switches. They took like a China switch and they renamed it to match their like fruit line. So it was a macho switch, and then they said now it's a banana split. And the one of the CEOs or something was going off on Reddit about it. Infinity has been kind of bummed because Like they've been trying to do Infinity white on black and it just ends up like blue gray. They bunked a 40% board too. I don't remember. I feel like they bought the rights for the, it's like a van, some kind of weird 40, and they just never did anything with it. That lightning board, the Godspeed, no one cared about. One, TKC. Two, it just didn't sound great. They had extras up on the site for the longest time. Yeah, it's really awkward. The Molly was that split board, right? I feel like the Molly had merit, but I don't know. I just never into it. But yeah, that's what's going on with TKC. Their leadership is like should not be on social media. I think that was like the biggest thing. The way they portrayed themselves on Reddit and online didn't really sit well with people, and they have a disconnect with their fulfillment. So when they complete orders, it gets managed by somebody else, so their warehouses they're not run very well. So you can confirm an order and you may not get what you ordered, or you get the wrong quantity. I was lucky I got the GMK DMG extras with the bars, but a lot of my friends missed because they're supposed to get a shipment, right? It just never showed up. It just got lost. And when they like contacted them, they're like, oh, just wait, sometimes there's issues. And the final result was, after they waited weeks, was, oh, we oversold. Like, what the hell? How do you oversell? And why does it take so long to figure out that you oversold? It is a lot of mess ups, a lot. Like if you're one thing or the other, like I can name at least one or two like boo-boos with every vendor I've interacted with. But if I look overall, I'll still buy from them. But TKC is just like, I was like, what are you doing? Yeah, that's what's going on with TKC. So Super 8 asks, hi man, I have a question for you that can't be found anywhere. How can I know if a good stabilizer is good quality before buying any? I personally vouch for Durock V2s. The one specifically I buy from Divinity. And Divinity is... press this button. Press it. Hell yeah. Check that link for my affiliates. Divinity is one of the channel affiliates. I got C3 stabs and I talked to the vendor that bought them. And it came from TKC. And apparently TKC packages them like... So the long wire 6.25U and 7U, they're all like... they're like this. Had a fun time trying to balance that. As a Durock V2 was well within the spec that was able to be handled by a Holy Mod to give me a good spacebar. If you were on the YouTube stream yesterday, we built with Durock V2 from Divinity, used a 7U wire, Holy Modded it, put it in, money. No balancing, nothing. Easy. So I requested more Durock V2 from Divinity. I'll use my C3, but I'm gonna have to balance them all. And I talked to a few other people. Same thing with them. They said that their longer wires from C3 were kind of bunk. They had to balance them. So you can balance them. Zeal stabs are exact same thing as Durock. Not exact, but like 99%. If you want to buy Zeal, go for it, but do not believe you're getting a better product that will not tick and rattle, because it still will. Don't waste your money. How do you clean out stabs? Isopropyl, and you just have to use a lot of elbow grease. Because if you're going to try and do Holy Mod on top of it, you need that to be bone dry clean, which is really hard. Alright, next question. Basilisk says, Mode Design's next keyboard is 65%. Now if you configure it on their site, you can pick your top and bottom and back piece. What would the effects of a PC top and aluminum bottom, or alu top and PC bottom, affect sound? So, PC as a whole, plastic, I think makes boards sound deeper. It makes it sound... it'll clack less, I think. So my PC Rukia doesn't clack that hard because the sound is like rounded out by the plastic case, which I prefer. And people do PC bottom if they want to show underglow. So between the two, I would rather have a PC bottom, aluminum top. Aluminum top looks cleaner, looks more high class, classy. Whereas a PC top looks cheap, right? Because plastic is cheap. So between the two, I would rather run a PC bottom if there's underglow. And I think the mix, it will sound less sharp than full aluminum. It just feels lighter too. And they also ask, effect of half plates, how does that affect sound? I think if you watch, like if you view all my sound tests with a half plate, you can probably hear consistent sound of a switch of a linear on a half plate, because it's all just the sound of a switch on FR4 PCB. So if you like that sound, great. If you don't, then don't run a half plate or don't run plateless. Something resonant frequency or something along those lines for real. What is FR4 and how are those like when using them for plates? FR4 is like less flexible than PC or Palm, and it mutes. So people like using JWK with FR4 plates because they're very clacky, so it balances out. PC iron looks super good. I still want one.